Alright y'all, what's good? It's me, Twin Hunters, back at you guys with another video today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys kind of how to make like a dark beat, a beat for like Travis Scott, or a beat that like Metro Boomin would make or something like that. This is my first video that I'm filming in my college dorm actually. That's why it's messy back there. This is also the first video that I'm filming since the GTA 6 trailer came out, so that's kind of crazy. I do apologize in advance. I don't have my mic down here in Arizona with me right now. My webcam is kind of lagging behind in the video, so unfortunately for today's video I'm not going to be putting in a webcam, but I do hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get right into the beat. Alright everybody, so I got the project pulled up here. The beat is called Grave. It is in C# minor and it is at 140 BPM, and I really just tried to make it into like a dark Travis Scott type beat, kind of Metro Boomin type beat. It honestly is a super simple beat, super minimal sound, stuff like that. We can just get into the melodies here. Alright, so for the first melody, it simply just looks like this. Without any effects on it, this is what it sounds like. I simply just place down chords that would be like where these two white notes are and right here as well, so that you could experience that spooky sound from that dissonance. The preset that I used for this sound is just a simple dreamy piano again off of Omnisphere. I didn't put any effects into it in plugin. If you come over here and look at the effects that I have on the actual sound, I just put this RC20 sad piano preset on there. When it's on, it sounds like this. Kind of gives it that more spooky, wobbly effect. Then what I did is, because it frickin' goes crazy on my CPU all the time, I rendered it out as an audio clip. And then I routed that to track 13, and then I just threw another instance of the sad piano and just took the wobble off to emphasize some of the other details. So with all the effects and everything, that's what this piano sounds like. This is kind of like the second layer to the melody, and all I did was I just put notes on the root notes here. The sound that I use for the choir is the Boys Choir A, E, A, U preset from Omnisphere as well. Alright, so without any effects, this is what it sounds like. And then for effects, I put this instance of halftime on here, 1 bar at 20 milliseconds sustain. I put this Valhalla Supermassive on here, half note spray preset, and then I kind of mess with the warp a little bit. And then finally, I put on this Wow and Flutter preset on RC20, and now it sounds like this. I really like how the halftime and the Valhalla Supermassive kind of work together to make that like almost skipping effect at the end there. Kind of gives it that spooky vibe. And then I also rendered that out as an audio file as well. And then I routed it out to track 14. I put some master gain on there, and I put a little bit of pre-gain on there. And then I also put some fruity reverb on there and just turned the wet knob down a little bit, as well as the early reflection level as well. So together the melody and then its layer kind of sound like this. Alright, so for our counter melody, this is kind of what it looks like here, and then the sound that I used for it was in Omnisphere. It was the In Memoriam 1 preset, and I didn't really make any changes to it in plugin. So without any effects on it, it sounds like this. For effects, I put this RC20 and I kind of just made my own preset here. Another instance of Valhalla Supermassive, I used the small dark room preset and kind of messed with it a little bit until I got it to sound what I liked it as. I also did a high cut here, and then finally I put on a small studio reverb preset from Fruity Reverb. And this is what it sounds like all together. Just kind of makes it sound a little bit older. And then I did the same thing with this one as well. I rendered it out as an audio clip. And then I simply routed it to track 15, and I put Pancake on there, kind of just give it some dynamics. So all together, this is what the melody sounds like. Alright, so for the drums here, you can see it's pretty simple. Nothing too complicated here. I kind of just have 3 main sections here with bridges, an outro, a little bit of an intro here, and then I got some effects in the beginning, but I'll go through those in just a minute. Alright, so the first sound we have here is just our snare, and this is just the 808 Mafia snare. Now I do have effects on all these drums, but I will go through those afterwards. This is what the snare sounds like. Just a super simple snare pattern. Next we got our hi-hat pattern, and basically what I did was I just made a 4-bar loop, and then I kind of just gave it some range and pasted it over, and then I kind of just changed it up a little bit, keep it super simple. The hi-hat sound that I use is the Zaytoven hat. This is what the pattern sounds like. Next I got our 2 808 patterns. First one I have is just playing on the note B the entire time, and it's a pretty simple pattern. Here it is. And the second pattern here is the same pattern. I just added some range to it, and then I added 2 slides at the end here, and this is what this one sounds like. The sound for the 808 pattern is just this wheezy 808. A lot of the sounds I used in this beat are wheezy sounds. Next we got our kick pattern, and as you can see it's a little sporadic. I also use a wheezy kick. This is what the pattern sounds like. With the 808 it complements it actually really well, which is really awesome. Next we got our accent snare here, and this is also a wheezy snare, and that just plays these 2 notes back here and these 3 notes back here. Next we got our open hat, which just plays in the 1st bar and the 5th bar. It's a super common open hi-hat. It is the no heart open hat. I kind of tweaked with the sounds a little bit, the settings to get the desired sound that I wanted. Next we have the Luger perk. Everyone kind of knows what this perk is. And I just stuck 2 right here and 3 right here. Kind of put that velocity down there. I really like the dynamic range it gives. And finally we have the shaker, and it's just the Zaytoven shaker. That plays this pattern. And then the 2 back here. And then I did also take the 808 sound and basically reverse it and kind of mess with the length a little bit, so I got this sound. It makes kind of a cool fade in. Alright, and then for the effects on the drums here, I first have this trap drive, which actually is a 808 distortion plugin, but I thought it would be good on the snare here. And then I also put just a fruity reverb, one of my favorite reverb plugins, and it's stock, which is the best. I did not put any effects on the hi-hats. For the 808, I have an abnormal effect chain. I usually don't put this type of effects on here, but this is what I did. So first I put this instance of RC20 retro color on there. I just put some 2-pair on there and put the focus right in the middle, so it was emphasizing the distortion area. I then put on a high cut and then a little bit of a low cut to again emphasize more of the distortion. But then with the next, I tuned down a lot of the highs, and then I boosted the lows a little bit. I then did some post gain Maximus. I did another instance of trap drive. A preset that I thought was really interesting that I added on here was wider. I just set it at 30%, but it really filled the sound out a lot. I didn't put any effects on the kicks. On the open hat, I put a wider on just at 30%. I didn't put any effects on the Lex Luger perk, and I didn't put any effects on shaker either. And then finally, just for master effects, I have just a really small chain. I just have this parametric EQ2 adding and taking away some frequencies. I have the master halftime that fades in towards the end here. And then I also have this as well for my compressor. And this is honestly a free plugin. I like it though. I just have it on the relax setting. Before the beat was finished, I added in my tag. Alright guys, this is the final beat. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Twin.